Hey there, baseball fans. Nathan Rohde and Shooter Hunt here with the latest episode of Coffee and Curveballs. Shooter, it's been a busy couple of weeks. We've got another busy week before things really slow down, but lots of action from around the country to talk about.
Oh, yeah. PBR has been all over the place. Our state directors send in all sorts of information. I'm pumped to talk about it today.
Excellent. Well, let's go over some quick hits. What do you got out of your home state of New Jersey?
Yeah, New Jersey had a little future games trials, some underclassmen hopping out there. Anthony Sepon, kid out of Ridgewood High School in New Jersey, 5'11", 170-pounder, real smooth left-handed stroke, just consistent in the field. He's one to follow. And then you got two brothers of some standouts from the past. Jaden Hilton, who's the brother of Brandon Hilton, who's now at Stetson. Big, long frame, 6'5", 185 pounds, right-handed hitter. Already showing off a little bit of power in the freshman class as a 2022. He's a good one to follow. And then Chris Maldonado, brother of Vanderbilt recruit Nick Maldonado. He's also 2022. The hands really work at the plate. He's a shortstop, also hops on the mound, two-way potential. They're both really good ones to watch in that 22 class.
Yeah, the way you describe Jaden Hilton sounded just like his brother Brandon. Big, long frame with power.
So, and he's doing well down Stetson right now. So
yeah, exactly.
Right
so
that same path.
One to watch. But headed south down to Alabama. What do you got from our man David Sharp?
Oh, yeah. I got to spend time with Sharpie at the Alabama All-State event, which was in Tuscaloosa at the University of Alabama. Great event for those guys to hop on that awesome field. But Matthew Alejandro, sorry if I pronounced that. It's a little tough one. But he did not get cheated on the plate. Right-handed hitter who's taking some big hacks, working uphill through the zone with some impressive power for a 21. Also showed off some strong arm strength over at third base. I think that's where he profiles as in the future, but he's a good one to check out. Grant Hickman, right-handed pitcher who I was really impressed with at the event. Worked mostly 82 to 85 early on in the fall. I think there's more in the tank there coming from a slingy three-quarter slot. And he also spun a nice slider, which could be a put-away pitch in the future. But he threw a lot of strikes, and I think he's going to be a good one moving forward out of the state of Alabama. And then finally, Cameron Snipes, big dude. I'm talking 6'2", 200 pounds, first baseman, left-handed hitter, but really good feel for the barrel. He had a couple hits in the game, but his BP was really impressive. And I think he's going to get that power projection that he has, especially the pull side. But he's another one to watch coming out of Alabama, and it was a great time with Sharpie down there. Really like to spend time with those guys.
It's never a bad time with Sharpie. So,
no.
Excellent. Well, good stuff. Out of Texas, Toby Bicknell has been feeding me a lot of really good information. He's got some guys moving up his 2019 list that are going to be interesting guys to watch for the draft. A couple of them ended up making the high school draft 100, which is up on the site, and we'll talk about in just a second. But one of them is Bodie Rascone, left-hander, big physical dude, 6'5", 200 pounds, high waist and broad shoulders. He's been pitching in the high 80s, but definitely topping out at 90. So very interesting left-handed arm to watch there. Pretty athletic, can spin a breaking ball some. So he's a guy I've definitely got circled to see. This week here in Jupiter. Logan Kohler is quickly moving up the rankings and kind of putting himself in the conversation as one of the top position players not named Bobby Witt in Texas. You also got Brett Beatty down there, but Kohler looks pretty athletic at third base. Nice, smooth, short left-handed stroke. 6'2", 180 pounds. So definitely a good-looking position player there. And then finally, Jacob Hasty.
Yes.
Big, strong, durable dude. 6'2", 215 pounds, high slot, 87 to 89, hammer curveball. Kind of goes between 1-7, 12-6 shape, but It's got big break, 76, 78. So he's another guy. I got a lot of Texas guys circled to see this week, Shooter.
Surprise, surprise. Texas bringing the arms and guys you need to see. Texas always brings the heat.
No doubt. Let's welcome in now Phil Kerber, who was out of our headquarters in Chicago, but he has recently moved down to Jacksonville, Florida, where he's going to help out the Florida crew, helping out up there in North Florida. But he also runs our JUCO stuff. So, Kerbs, welcome to the show, man. Glad to have you.
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. Been asking to get on here for a while.
Yeah, no doubt. So you've seen a ton of JUCO stuff recently, which we can get into in a podcast. But today we want to talk to you. You saw the Florida Diamond Club. You were down there with Doug Freeman, which is top high school talent from Florida, in for a couple of days, playing games, workouts. Obviously, lots of draft talent, even some underclass guys. Just real quick, what was the overall sense of the group down there that you saw?
Well, it was my first time seeing a lot of these guys, so I was really, really impressed. I mean, the biggest winner of the weekend had to have been Tyler Callahan, mostly known for being a third baseman, shortstop, left-handed stick, really athletic, smooth. I mean, he puts everything into play, just finds barrels. But the biggest surprise was when he hopped behind the plate for the final 2 innings of the game.
Ooh.
And that had cameras opening, feet scuffling, everybody was getting to the side to get video on him. He didn't look uncomfortable. It looked like with more work, he could potentially have a future there, and that could only see his stock going up from that.
Oh, yeah, that changes a lot of things. If he hops behind the plate, you're talking about a power left-handed stick who also catches. I mean, he's always had the arm strength. I saw him up to 90, 91 on the bump during the summer. But for him to go behind the plate, he's an athletic kid, might be a good fit for him in the future, especially, again, with that left-handed power-hitting stick. Getting him in the lineup as a bat first catcher could be a big thing for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's that everlasting debate of the bat's so good, do you put him behind the plate and maybe slow the bat down? But it certainly does add value to him, because the question was about his defensive home initially, so it really adds some intrigue to the mix for him. But speaking of kind of going against profiles, you got a guy that can really hit but doesn't really have a defensive home. Tyler Owens. Not your typical 6'4" projectable guy, but it sounds like he showed out again pretty well.
Yeah, he's listed at 5'9", and that might even be a little bit of a stretch, but the ball comes out hot. I mean, it's a loose, easy arm. He was sitting 93, 95, hitting spots all over the zone. They were working low, and then he dropped this little hammer of a curveball that was enough to keep guys off balance because of that high-velocity fastball. And it was really, really nice 2-3 innings of work that he put in.
Mm-hmm. And then you got to see a 2020 standout as well. It sounds like Dylan Cruz just continues to hit everywhere he goes.
Yeah, his BP was one of the most impressive of the weekend. Every round was just line drive, spraying it from gap to gap. I mean, he can hit to all fields, and he capped it all off in his final at-bat of the weekend with a 2-run homer to left field that he just absolutely crushed. And not to mention his defensive abilities, where during pregame and in and out, he was hitting every throw, one hops perfect to the bag, just putting him right there.
Yeah, he gets it going, and I mean, I tweeted about it. Hitters just hit, and he continues to get in gameplay. Doesn't matter who's on the bump, he's going to hit you. And the power's there, the ability to use the entire field and that feel for the barrel makes him one of the elite, if not the elite hitter in the 20 class.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you have it. Some information from the Florida Diamond Club, courtesy of Phil Kerber, now in North Florida for us. So, Kerbs, we appreciate you joining us. Looking forward to hanging out in Jupiter, man.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
See you down there.
You bet. Once again, big thanks to Kerbs for coming on the show here. Shooter, you were traveling recently. You were in Kentucky for the border battle. Real quick, give us one standout from there, because you're going to have a lot more content coming down the line.
Yeah, a lot more coming. University of Kentucky, new stadium. The kids got to compete on there, which was awesome. But 2020 Samuel Tackett, a former future gamer, had a great weekend, blasted a home run, showed off his big arm, which he's continued to do. Good-looking athlete, so he's one to watch for, and we'll have more coming on as we get the videos rolling in.
No doubt. If you check out PrepBaseballReport.com right now, you'll see the High School Draft 100, which was posted last week. Surprise, surprise, at number one shooter, we got Bobby Witt Jr., athletic shortstop. I mean, it's a slam dunk for me. After that, you can really draw them out of a hat. A lot of good players, good talent, but nobody's really kind of separating themselves yet. But hey, guess what? We got 8 months to go.
Yeah, what the best part about that is it hasn't lined up yet, so you're going to have to be on the road nonstop, and guys are going to be able to rise to the top, and their game's going to elevate them. So it makes for a fun fall season and then a very fun spring.
No doubt. That's the best part about it. Rhodey has to travel. So thanks, buddy. But, Shooter, what do we got next? I know where I'm going, and I think I'm going to see you there.
Yeah, we're heading down to Jupiter, which is where it's almost like a conference for all of the scouting community to go down, check out the top prospects in 19 and 20, and I may be shooting down to see some 22s as well.
Yeah, you're going to head down to West Palm Beach a little bit, see an underclass event. But yeah, Jupiter, it's definitely a conference or reunion for scouts. A lot of, hey, what's up, how's it going, before everybody kind of disappears for the winter, takes a little bit of time off and catches a breather. But lots of names to track down. Encircled. So we'll have notebooks every day, 3 notebooks a day between you, me, Sean Duncan, and then our Florida guys, Phil Kerber and Doug Freeman, and I think probably Mike Mayers will be down there. So there will be no shortage of content. So be sure to follow along on Twitter. We'll have stuff on the website, and then I imagine we'll do some podcasts and coffee and curveballs afterwards. So
for sure.
No doubt. But excellent. Jump on prepbaseballreport.com. We'll have a podcast up there where we go more in depth on the topics we talked about today, and obviously the Jupiter stuff coming up. So, but as always, for Shooter Hunt, I'm Nathan Rohde. This was Coffee and Curveballs, and until next time, we'll see you guys at the ballpark.